It is now time for our weekly political segment, KVUE Face Off. Joining me this morning is Communications Director for Progress Texas, Pohlmeyer, and Andy Hogue, who is the Communications Director of the Travis County Republican Party. So you see, we have Battle of the Communications Directors this morning. It's very exciting. All right, so big news today that I don't think a lot of people were expecting. Speaker of the House, Dennis Bonnen, announcing he will not seek re-election. In fact, we have a part of his statement that reads, "After much prayer, consultation, and thoughtful consideration with my family, it is clear that I can no longer seek re-election as state representative of District 25 and subsequently as Speaker of the House." He goes on to say that he lost sort of the support of a numerous amount of Republicans in the House. Andy, we'll start with you. Did this come as a surprise, and what are your initial thoughts?
Oh, a major surprise. I mean, not totally out of the blue. They had, of course, the House GOP caucus retreat last week, and that's where they discussed a lot of this stuff. But for a lot of his closest supporters to jump off the Bonnen bandwagon, that was surprising. It must have happened over the last couple of days. Maybe it's predicated by a decision by Bonnen. Maybe he prayed about it over the weekend and went to church. I don't know. But something over the weekend changed, and it started Monday, started trickling in one member after the other, and now we have a full-blown intention not to run again.
Yeah, Tara, your thoughts?
This was a big win for transparency and ethics in the Texas House, and we've seen this tape come out of the secret recording where our Republican Speaker of the House, Bonnen, says he calls women vile, he uses homophobic language, and he says a lot of things that really attack not only Democrats but his own Republicans as well. And so this is one conversation that we've heard, and we don't know the countless other conversations that we don't have tapes for. So seeing him decide to not run for re-election is absolutely a win. I think we know that Dennis Bonnen has a record of being a loudmouth. He has a record of really voting against immigration reform, voting against the interests of Texans, and so we're glad to see him decide to step down.
Yeah, I think one of the big questions while this was all happening was, well, we have to first see what's going to happen with the Texas Rangers investigation, whether or not the Brazoria County DA is going to prosecute, and there was this thought that he might be able to rebound from this, that we just kind of had to wait and see. It wasn't so clear when this first happened, even with that language, because I think people who know Speaker Bonnen kind of know, he's kind of crashed in how he speaks. They knew what they were getting. This was not a secret among people, in the House of Representatives as to how he speaks. So, I mean, the fact that he decided not to try to rebound from this, Andy.
That's the big surprise, Ashley. I mean, that was my position too, that we should have waited for the Texas Rangers investigation to conclude, see what really happened, and go from there. But this shows me that he was more focused on winning in 2020. That a lot of things were on the line. As Tara indicated a while ago, there's a lot of talking points that were coming out of this. So we didn't want this to become a 2020 campaign issue. So Bonnen was wise strategically, I guess, thinking of the good of the party for stepping aside and for the health of, I guess, our chances in 2020.
Yeah, so the Texas Democratic Party was also suing Michael Quinn Sullivan over this recording, which was kind of interesting because Sullivan just, he was there. But they were suing him. They announced that they're going to drop that lawsuit against him. But you can imagine that Democrats are going to try to use this, regardless of whether or not Bonnen is running in 2020.
Well, I think what we know is that Texans are tired of these backroom deals. Texans are tired of this secretiveness coming out of the Republican Party, and we're excited to elect more progressives to office who represent the needs of Texans. And it's clear that Dennis Bonnen did not do that.
Yeah, but wouldn't some say all politicians have backdoor meetings?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. It's part of how the sausage is made, and we're also going to get another Republican. So good luck getting somebody more socially liberal. But at the same time, I think that we can expect more transparency in the future. We can learn from this and move on.
Yeah, because you feel like District 25 is going to elect another Republican.
Oh, hands down. That district, that whole area around Houston, very solid Republican. We're going to get another Republican there. We'll get another Republican speaker, and probably closer to the center this time.
Well, now I would imagine, Tara, sure that you were going to say no, you are not going to get another Republican.
Yeah, who is it going to be, Tara?
Well, I think in District 25, we've seen in most suburbs that they are leaning more progressive. We know that progressive values have become mainstream values. People want affordable health care access. People want immigration reform. And Republicans aren't delivering on these things that impact people's everyday lives. I think Democrats also have the opportunity now to elect not only a progressive to Speaker of the House, but the first woman to Speaker of the House. And I think that for the state of Texas, and I think that would be phenomenal for them to do that.
All right, so we've got a lot of stuff coming. I mean, we also have this whole criminal element with all of this as to whether or not charges could possibly be pressed against Bonnen. That's a whole other issue, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see about that. And again, we can wait for the Texas Rangers to release their findings and see what happens.
All right, so obviously much more to happen with this story. We're going to keep you guys posted on it. You can rewatch this segment on KVUE.com right after the newscast. We thank you both for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure.
And we'll be right back.